Okay. Now welcome. I said now welcome. I said now welcome. I said you welcome. I said she welcome.
Come on in.
Okay. Now welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Did I tell you that you welcome? And go on and come. I said now welcome.
Come on in.
Okay.
Come on in.
Okay.
We on 10. Let's begin.
I said you welcome to 4th and 1. I said you welcome to 4th and 1. I said you welcome to 4th and 1. I said he welcome to 4th and 1. I said she welcome to 4th and 1. I said y'all welcome to 4th and 1. I say now welcome.
Come on in.
Okay.
Come on in.
Okay.
We on 10. Let's begin.
I said now welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Bring it facts.
Bring it back by the time.
I said now welcome.
Come on in.
All right.
Come on in.
Okay.
We on 10. Let's begin.
I said now welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Bring it facts by the time before the rising of the sun. But this ain't me in a shotgun. Hey.
Who? With the hockey?
Oh, we pumped it up.
Oh, yeah. Got a little air now.
Pumped it up.
Hey.
This me in front of your TV. Okay. I say this me in front of your TV.
Yes, sir.
Can't forget for Peggy in front of your TV. Double D in front of your TV.
Okay.
Jimbo in front of your TV. VJ in front of your TV.
VJ.
Me in front of your TV. I say this drop top in front of your TV. I say this Peggy in front of your TV. Big Boogie in front of your TV.
Okay.
All of us in your TV having a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Peggy. Can you remind the people that we appreciate the people, but we need the people to just do this one service for us?
Talk to me now.
Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, but most of all, Peggy, make sure they do what?
Subscribe, dog.
Yeah! Roll call real quick. Double D, step up to the mic. Can you please remind the people, advise the people, instruct the people? Make sure they like, make sure you share, make sure they comment, but most of all, make sure they do what? Subscribe, yeah! Now, I'm going to go out of order, but in order at the same time. Shout out to my dog, Drop Top. Step up to the mic, step to the mic. And instruct the people, direct the people, force the people to like, share, comment, but most of all, make sure they do what? Subscribe, yeah! Now, we let all the JV and 9th grade participate, gave them their medallions and all this, that, and
Bases loaded now. Bases loaded.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna bring on our heavy hitter, the big slugger, from another, from parts unknown. You already know I'm calling in the big dog Jimbo. Step up to the mic and remind the people, instruct the people, direct the people, and tell the people. Make sure they like, make sure they share, make sure they like, make sure they share, make sure they like, share, and comment. But Jimbo, make sure they do what? Subscribe!
Yeah! Jimbo slice everything nice.
Everything is too nice.
Yes, sir. Keep.
I mean, we got a good show on tap.
Come on now.
Here we go, first down. Viral moment of the week. Let's see what we got.
Well, it's been heating up, so we have to talk about Shay Shay's world. All right, Shannon Sharpe is under fire right now. It came out to the public that he was finishing up his deal soon with the volume and on the verge of $100 million deal, upwards of $100 million deal. But then allegations came out, all right? So it's a 21-year-old woman, I think the age is 20 or 21, accused him, Shannon Sharpe, of rape, abuse, and threats in Nevada civil lawsuit. So she filed a lawsuit April 20th against Shannon Sharpe, and this young lady came out And this lawsuit was for $50 million. But let's just talk about everything that has been happening with Shannon Sharpe and, you know, your thoughts, and just talk about the facts of what we have seen. Because we don't know the full story. It's still developing, but we have to talk about it.
I think I want to start this off with a very serious note. No matter who you are, no matter the age, no matter the race, no matter, you know, what the circumstances entail, we do not subscribe to any type of sexual assault of any kind. I think what's tough about this is that when you talk about the individual Shannon Sharpe, and this has been a person to me that I can call on as a friend. This is a person to me who I can call as an advisor, and just flat out, this is a person who I look up to.
Yeah.
You don't expect to have people of his caliber associated with this type of issue.
For sure.
And I think that's what was, you know, while everybody was taking a step back. And this is a perfect case of facts versus public opinion. And everything I say is my honest opinion.
Yeah.
This is not me taking sides of me insinuating that somebody's guilty or innocent.
Correct.
By any stretch of the imagination. I hope everything works out. But just the person who, you know, Shannon Sharpe is a person who I hold in high regard.
Correct.
As a person that it's like, yo, like he's on to everybody.
To everybody, yeah.
So it's like this is not a joking matter, more so to say like, hold on, what does the facts indicate? We do know that Tony Busby has been on the front line of trying to expose very well-known African Americans. He was a part of the Deshaun Watson case. He was also a part of, you know, the Diddy lawsuit. He was also a part of the case of Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So what we know as facts has shown itself and constantly showing itself. And I think when you take a step and kind of have your own observation, what doesn't look good, there's multiple things that does not look good. The obvious is the age difference.
Yeah.
And I'm not insinuating anything. This is still this is my opinion that I have, right, wrong, or indifferent. And this is not me saying like I'm taking the side of, you know, Shay, because we don't ascribe to anybody in a sexual assault case.
Correct.
Right? It's just unfortunate that these individuals have to go through this publicly.
Correct.
And I look at it and will say this to anybody. No matter who you are, be careful.
Yes.
No matter what you got going on, popping, not popping, successful, unsuccessful, just be careful. Human rights is real.
That's real.
No means no. And we're living in a day and age where, yes, like people have the right to feel offended and feel any type of way. Yeah. So that's not denying that specific fact. And as things start to develop, and it's still a developing story.
It is. So we don't know all the facts now.
For sure.
Stuff comes out every day, yeah.
And it's when you see things develop, his image will take a hit. Shannon Sharpe has been a person in media that is relatable to the culture. You will hope that he's innocent, but you don't want to be misogynistic to the young lady and to discredit what she feels to be an assault.
Yeah.
So dare I speak on something that is still a developing story. I just know who Shannon Sharpe is to me.
Yeah.
And we've tried to not speak on this case as much as possible as it is developing, because I do not want to be biased. Because I owe a service and understanding that, like when you speak your opinion, it can still come off as a certain type of way.
Correct.
I heard what Stephen A. Smith spoke about on his platform, and it was masterfully said. We all have somebody we report to, no matter who you are.
Exactly.
Over this past weekend, I had the opportunity to speak at a Black Effect that was head and led by Charlemagne, a beautiful platform that he curated with his team. And there was something that he said that I'll share with you. Freedom of speech is not free. Everything that you say comes with a price. Everything that you do also comes with a price. And I've learned this in my own right, Peg.
Yeah, that's what I want to dive into.
But hear me out. And this is why it's so near and dear to me. I had a conversation with Shannon around November, December. Every time he's in Atlanta, he'll stop by the fellowship, have a dinner, and just kick it. And one of the main things that he says, Cam, you got to stop cursing. And I'm like, man, no, bro. Like, no. He said, bro, listen to me. When you playing the corporate game, this ain't you selling yourself, but you got to play by their rules. You gotta ask yourself, does a brand want to align with your moral compass? So when I take a challenge to say, you know what, there's a lot of things that I have to change about myself. And there's people who I take counsel from, the Omari Collins of the world, the R.J. Mathises of the world, the Kristen Myers of the world, the Cecil Newtons of the world, the Jackie Newtons of the world, Kaylin, CJ. Everybody has a way to get through to me when I may be in my own way. Yeah. It's not what you're saying, Cam, it's how you're saying it. Yeah. Shannon also advised me on that. He's like, bro, what I'm doing in Nightcap and what I'm doing with Shay Shay, it's like, bro, you can do it too. So it hits a little different when this is a person who you listen to. This is a person who you are a fan of. Yeah. This is a person who you have aspirations to be as well. Yeah. A football player who's evolved into this media juggernaut, and it's just unfortunate. Yeah. But to this point where we're living in an era where everybody calls themselves, oh, I'm a boss. But even the boss, in most situations, have to answer to somebody.
Well, that's what I was saying, and I heard this is like the true boss has the most bosses, and meaning that you answer to so many other people that's helping push you and your company on, whether it's your fans, whether it's your employees, and a lot of times too, it's like as you grow as a businessman, we have had conversations. It's like, now it's a certain level of pressure and responsibility on you, because there's so many people's livelihoods that is predicated off of the decisions of what Cam Newton is making. You know what I'm saying? Even on this show, this platform of what we talk about, that's predicating on people's livelihood as they feed their families. And, it's a certain level of weight, but it's good weight that you carry because as we talk, and I know Stephen A. said this, is you have to stay within certain barriers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Of not even just, it's not hushing yourself, but it's really, everybody has barriers. Right. Everybody has ramifications to keep them alive, to keep them upright. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be lawless out here and just doing whatever. Not saying Shannon is that way or whatever. I'm just talking about in general. Yeah. And just as a man and as a human being, man, woman, whatever, it is, all barriers aren't bad. You know what I'm saying? Right. They keep you aligned. They keep you focused. They keep you growing. And so, man, that's just my little 2 cents about it, And
it's not love, Peggy. Don't love.
Not love 2 cents. That's my point about it.
In no way, shape, form are we implying that he's right and she's wrong.
Correct.
But what I am saying is just unfortunate
that this is a situation.
That this is now public ridicule. Mm-hmm. And we're playing a game of facts versus public opinion. Mm-hmm. He knows that he's playing a game that has millions, if not billions of dollars as a weight to say, like, oh, I can't unlock this because I have this. Not only with this particular lawsuit that came out, it was another one that.
And even outside of the money, just the morals, the morale of just the person. You know what I'm saying? Because money, business is one thing, but just being able to stand out in the public. And like you just said, man, you everybody uncle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, even as this situation unfolds, you know, you just hope that doesn't take a hit of just everybody saying like, that's You know what I'm saying? Because when you say that, that comes just with a level of respect.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And hey, listen, I'll end with this, man. I think that me personally, I would like to say that I'm a boss. When you think about Iconic Saga, you know, we have a president in Krista Myers who's doing an unbelievable job, and so much that happens behind the scenes. We have unbelievable editors and Double D and Jimbo and, you know, the likes of yourself with filtering what we should publish and what we shouldn't. But this is a word to everybody. The boss doesn't mean that you just get to recoup all the dividends of what the company is. What I've learned to be true is the boss means that you're the biggest servant. So for the people who have this thought process of, man, I get to do whatever I want to do. How you call yourself boss and you got so many bosses that you report to. Yeah, but that's a flex to some, but that's also ignorance to people too, because we all report to somebody. The greatest of the great, the smallest of the small. And to the words that my father would always say, can be mindful. Because one day you could be on top of the world. And the next day, the world can be on top of you. But I will say it like this. I must say it like this.
What you gotta say?
Have to say it like this.
Come on now.
Peggy!
What's good, bud? Yeah! Come on now. Turn me up in there.
Man, that felt good.
Yeah.
I ain't had one of them in a long time.
Yeah, your boy been cracking your back.
You
Cracking back, brother.
You know what I'm saying? How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. How you doing? How was your weekend?
Well, it was good, man. It was great. I had a flare up this weekend, but enough about my weekend. Before we talk about my weekend,
What's up?
let's talk about your weekend. Peggy, what you been doing? Who you been doing it with? And how you been moving and maneuvering, Peg?
Man, everything's been good. We had a live show Thursday. You know, draft, first top 10 pick. So that was a good show. Thank you to everybody that chimed in, tuned in, and seen the live draft show. You know, a lot of stuff has been coming out from that, so that's been good. I didn't know. You know, Cam is the loveologist. Tell me why. Sent to me. Headlines read this of an article. Cam Newton's live dating pitch for Peggy at NFL Draft 2025 steals the spotlight. There's an article.
For the love of Peg!
Bro,
The pursuit of Peg. That's what shit. The pursuit of Peg.
I said, bro.
I'm just trying to tell you.
My mama wanted me to tell you. She said, tell Cam.
Okay.
I'm jack him up if he out here just throwing my son out here to these streets. I'm praying over your DMs right now.
Man, listen, I'm just throwing you out there to let you know that you're available. You know, for all the gamers that's out there, you can't play a game if your status say offline. I'm just putting you back online, Peg. I'm just putting you back green.
I'm on divine timing, my brother.
You see what I'm saying? It's okay, Peg. We need to produce that over here at Iconic Saga. The pursuit of Peg. You got to put it out in the universe. What happened to intentionality? What happened to manifestation? Everything is all good until you have to say, you know what, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for a little bit of that. And then, boom, that's where you're going to catch me at. Bro. It's all right, Peg.
It's all
right, brother. I see you with your Pittsburgh Pirates. Jimbo got the Pirates.
That's my twin right there.
What y'all got going on?
And it's the Roberto Clemente, Pirates jersey, I would stand up, but
them legs can't stand.
Nah, they standing.
That also has to be said. All ladies that's going out there for the pursuit of Peg, you must know that he is on IR right now. He needs some tender loving care. Cause that knee a little shaky, limited lateral movement.
All right,
but it don't mean that he can't move straight up and down. If you just stay with me, stay with me.
That's the pig leg.
Stay with me. I'm just trying to get you. I'm just trying
to pressure.
Listen, I'm just trying to get you drafted, Peg.
Hey, I'm trying to go first round.
I'm trying to tell you.
Top pick.
Top five.
I don't want to drop in the draft.
Come on now. Hey, hold on, slow down, Peg. Hey. Huh? I'm just trying to get you drafted, brother. You listen to me. If you let Boogie Promotions and Golden Thumb Promotions promote you, you'll have a girl before it's hot girl summer.
You almost had me with grandma in the first row.
It's all right.
Grandma in the first row was standing up. I said, oh,
man, listen, I'm trying to tell you.
Auntie in the first row was like, I got you, baby. I said, hold on, baby, hold on.
Peg.
You might pack me a lunch, but that's about it.
Beggars can't be choosing, Peg.
I ain't begging. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you are. Because we need some.
I'm going straight arch. I ain't going Dion. I'm going arch. I'm hitting the audible. We ain't going to San Diego. Catch me in New York. Okay? I'm going arch. I ain't going to them Chargers. Catch me with the Giants. Okay?
Why not?
Nah, bro.
Listen, Peg, at this particular point, bro.
You know who gonna choose it?
The time is ticking.
God gonna choose it for me.
Man,
I'm off.
God been trying to send him. God done sent you a life raft. God done sent you some floaties. God done sent you a little boat. God done sent you all these different things, and you started to say, like, I don't want that. He gonna send me a ship.
Man,
the ship done went past, and you don't realize, like, no, God coming for me. God done sent everything, and God down
on the way. How about that?
God down there looking at you like, boy, let me tell you something. All right, we'll drown then.
Nah.
Look, we'll drown.
I ain't gonna drown.
Look, hey, that says who? I can't wait for Peggy to have some Peggettes or little pegs. My sons need punching bags.
Yeah, as you say. When you come down to Killer Collins Ave.
Killer Collins?
You put you in the head.
You ain't been known to be no killer.
But don't
try to subscribe to be no
don't push me.
All right, now.
Don't push me over there.
Man, listen, if you want Peggy, hit his agent up. At Boogie Me, please. I'll sift through all the information and let you know if you a real contestant or not. Because we just ain't going with nobody. We need some eye candy with a little something going on for themselves, and we good. We good.
He gonna Dion me. Y'all gonna get me in the 5th round of the draft.
You ain't gonna be in no 5th. Trust the process, baby. You gotta buy in. You gotta trust.
Get on out of here, man. We got a show to do.
Here we go. Next clip.
All right. So, first round of the draft. Speaking about potential, had more viewers and most watched in the NBA Finals game last year. So about 205,000 fans attended the first night. All right, so tuning in, it had 13.6 million average viewers on the first round of the draft. And the NBA Finals peaked at 12.2 million in the 2024 NBA Finals. Boom.
Yeah.
Football is
Here
king.
I go.
Here I go.
Y'all looking for me. All y'all basketball pundits and baseball pundits, I ain't never seen no NBA draft garner this much attention. I ain't never seen no MLB draft garner this much attention. It's standing room only. And literally, you see, they say a picture says 1,000 words.
Yes, I.
So NFL is king. And don't act like it ain't. Y'all can say, man, well, basketball is a global sport. Baseball is an international sport. Man, shut up. Because when you start talking about them numbers, men lie, women also lie, but them numbers ain't gonna lie. No. See, we do big numbers over here at the NFL. And I'm sorry to be one of the people that just takes to choose a side, but I'm a former NFL player, so I must stand on business. The Shield doing something right, Peggy.
Yeah.
Right there alone. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Take note, because at the end of the day gonna end with the NFL garner the most attention.
We have to chime in on some of the biggest picks. So you had Travis Hunter going to the Jags. What do you think about that, though? And then they traded up to get him.
I'm going to tell you the biggest fear that I have for Travis Hunter.
What's up?
Okay. Will he be focused
in Florida?
In Duval?
I feel like he could be.
No. I'm gonna give you some back office information. Okay, his family stays in Savannah. How far is Savannah from Duval? 3 hours.
Okay.
3.5. May can get there 2.5, depending on what you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a known Florida boy.
Yeah.
That had his mark been made in Georgia. Now the distractions come by the Metroton.
Yeah.
Can he stay focused through it all? And he's been a guy who's did everything correct. Contrary to what some believe, it's like, yo, he's did everything correct. We don't hear no riffraff about Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
Can he stay focused? Because now it's been that type of energy where it's like, okay, they said it when they drafted him. It has been known that the Jacksonville Jaguars will allow Travis Hunter to play both sides of the ball.
But I think that, though, like, I mean, even thinking about, obviously, he was at Jackson State. That's not a big city. You know, Colorado, what you going to do, snow out there? And then now with Jacksonville, like you said, it will be more distractions. But knowing Travis, knowing how serious and how much he loves the game, I think he's going to be so locked in. And then what you saying, playing both sides?
Yeah.
When you really going to have time for anything else? So I do think he will stay focused and make a splash jumping in Jacksonville. But also you had your boy go number 1, Cam Ward, to the Titans. How do you feel like he'll develop in Tennessee with that franchise?
There's been a lot of clips that's been resurfacing with it's the obvious. Shedeur and Cam Ward have the same quarterback coach. And, you know, some of those clips kind of came out in a way where Cam Ward's mental was at a state where it's like, yo, I'm extremely intentional of where I want to go. Dating back to his pro day, right, to him looking at the Tennessee Titans as to say, I'm your guy, right? He's been a person that has gotten the graces of even Warren Moon to be able to wear the number 1.
That's big.
It's extremely big. You don't just give numbers up to randoms.
Just randos.
You don't just give numbers up to pedestrians. You just don't give numbers up to guys that aren't the guy.
That's true.
You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he goes into a situation that obviously, even though, what was the quarterback before him?
Will Levis?
Yeah. So he's going into a situation, even though that they had Will Levis, hey, bro, your time is up.
Day 1 starter.
Yeah. Why we even waiting?
Yeah.
Because even in that quarterback room, he can't learn nothing from Will. Will ain't, you know what I'm saying, made no impact like that. If anything, Will is disgruntled. Sorry, it's just the truth. So even though you got ushered in Will Levis and Malik Willis was shunned off. It's kind of like the same way you bought in is the same way you're going to be ushered out.
How you get us, huh?
Hello. This is a business.
Yeah.
Huh? But it ain't no reason for him not to step up to the opportunity and say, listen, I'm going to make the most of my opportunity.
I'm a battle.
You got to fight.
You got to.
You can't just throw in the white flag because this is my career we're talking about.
Yeah, hello. And sometimes when you walk off that field,
you never know how the dice may roll.
You don't know if it's your last time.
But with Cam Ward, he's definitely the king of the country city of Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? And we're going to see how he performs. I'm extremely excited. It's kind of messed up that I won't say messed up, but the storyline over the draft was Shedeur.
Yeah, it just took away the spotlight for everybody.
You know what I'm saying? It's like for the guys, like I remember when we was doing a live show, I'm saying to myself, and everybody kept asking, like, yo, Ken, what you think about Shedeur? What you think about Shedeur? I'm like, bro, he drafted, ain't he? Mm-hmm. Like, that's a blessing. Right. For as long as I can remember playing this game of football, it was for this day.
Yeah.
To be able to say you was drafted is a blessing in itself. So let's not harbor on, oh man, he slipped in the draft and it's about this. It's like, bro, you take that opportunity off and he say, you know what, I don't want to be drafted when I'm drafted. Give it to somebody else. You know how many times somebody would have knocked on that door and say, man, listen, I will play for free.
Facts.
Right? But when you look at the whole dynamic of the draft, man, shout out to everybody who now is a part of the NFL, which is such a sacred fraternity. And can't nobody take that away from you.
Yeah.
do right by your opportunity, and nobody cares what you've done. Nobody cares when you were selected. Nobody cares about, who you are. They only care about how can you help this team win.
Some other big splashes in the draft. The Giants grabbed Jackson Dart in round 1. Even Will Howard went in the 6th round to the Steelers. I know they're talking about they're still waiting on Rodgers. It's a big question mark there. And Isaiah Bond, he went undrafted. And then finally, Jalen Milroe went to the Seahawks, and he had a big message. But before we get to Jalen Milroe, I definitely want to break that down. Talk to me about this question mark with the Rodgers situation with the Steelers. Do you feel like A-Rod is going to end up there, or is did they really make the right choice by grabbing Will Howard?
I think that that's a tricky and slippery slope.
Yeah.
Because we're waiting and anticipating a person to do what we expect him to do.
Yeah. And they might know some information that we don't know.
We may not. But if you asking what the best fit is and what all roads and all fingers point to Aaron Rodgers becoming the Pittsburgh Steeler, he doesn't have any veteran in that room or any draft pick that should be a cause for concern. Yeah. It's like, yo, A-Rod, my boy, my guy, we
made good on
we
him.
Need you in minicamp. Yeah. We got a big body Benz and a Bentley Bentayga at your disposal. And George Pickens and DK Metcalf. We don't think that Will Howard gonna get that done. Because if that would have been the case, we would have took a quarterback sooner rather than in the 6th round.
Hello.
Goodbye.
They know something, yeah.
With that being said, it's like, hey, Rod, the ball in your court now, dog. What you waiting on? Mm-hmm. Here we go, next clip.
So Jalen Milroe told the teams all of his weaknesses and was fine with it because it's like, y'all gonna find out anyway if you watching film. And for me not to take a snap in the NFL, of course I have weaknesses because I'm still growing as a player and a person. Yeah. What's your take on that? Like, you doing your interview.
Lean into it.
Yeah.
Don't shy away. I'll say it again. Lean in. Don't shy away. Because they're asking you just to get a response to, are you going to take accountability?
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe is probably the most athletic quarterback in this year's draft. Bar none. You don't have a resume of playing at one of the most prestigious colleges in Alabama and not be critiqued heavily more than other quarterbacks. So if that question is posed to you, you don't say, well, I don't have no weaknesses. It's no. Yeah. You know him. I know him. There's not a quarterback in this draft. There's not a player in this draft. There's not a player in football that doesn't have weaknesses. Yeah. So it was very mature of him to just say, like, listen, dog, this where I'm at with it. What you gonna do with it? I think the confidence and the understanding for any player is to always know what your weaknesses are and also know, what you need to always work on because that's going to make you a better player.
Do you think that affected his draft status?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it would have been more, impactful if he, if the reports, and we don't know if this report is true or not because, everything that hits the internet or, sources say, you don't know. I think it would have been more impactful if he would have lied about something, right? But at the end of the day, you don't know. Your destiny is in the hands of somebody else. Ask Shedeur, right? Yeah. You don't know what other teams or other executives or other owners are thinking and what their thought process or what they, in essence, need. Because we thought what was supposed to be the top 10 picks was supposed to be. And then I honestly could say, like, yo, people were getting picked. And I'm like, hold on, wait.
Even me.
Who?
Scratching my skin.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying to myself. I'm like, who is he? What school? Dang. Yeah. But it is what it is. They ain't make no mistakes because obviously they did their research for every specific prospect in this year's draft. Here we go, second down, questionable call of the week. Let's see what we got, Peggy.
Yeah, boy, dollar bill. It gets real. All right. So he sat down with CBS, and the interview got super awkward as they talked about his girlfriend, Jordan.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
So furthermore, after this, it says that Jordan, was a bit of a headache to CBS, and she cut the interview a little short earlier. After they asked these questions, she got up and walked out. So, Cam, what do you make of Dollar Bill, and it getting real in this interview?
Okay, so the
this is a lot.
It is.
Yeah, I mean.
In any type of sit down, you will want to know, as the person that's being, interviewed, what are the questions that are going to be asked?
Correct.
I have it happen in Funky Friday. I have it happen in multiple other different conversations and sit downs that I've had in my career. So that's nothing new. But that does not mean that they're not going to poach and poke and try to maneuver a specific question to be asked. Mm-hmm. We all want to know, like, how did y'all meet, right? But given the circumstances of how it transpired, that probably was something that, hey, we're not answering that question. What are we talking about here? Why, CBS, why do y'all want to come and talk to Bill Belichick? It's because of, obviously, his affiliation to college sports. Now, when you take a step back and you say, who is this young lady? She has more power than people are giving her credit for, right? To my knowledge, she is the COO or some, title that she has, which puts her in communications at all times of what is going on with Bill Belichick, the coach. Not only is she the girlfriend or the partner, so to speak, she has a lot of impact on how certain things are done.
Yep.
So you have to respect that.
Correct.
Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? That's subjective to who you are. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is, this happens more times than not. If we give certain restrictions of what we're talking about and what we're not talking about, and do you still ask and poach, of course you're going to get, some type of conflict. So I don't see that this is an issue. The issue is you guys have done something that we said we weren't agreeing to. Respect our requests. Yeah. And that's why the interview was cut short.
Cut short.
You dig what I'm saying?
We're going to cut the lights out on you.
Say less.
Real quick.
Here we go, next clip.
Should you stay in college or should you go to the league early? All right, so Quinn Ewers, all right, his NIL declined from 2025. It was $8 million. Now his salary as a 7th round pick, his new salary will be 0.8, so $800,000. So $8 million to $800,000. All right, and obviously somebody that played the game right, Ashton Genty, his money went up. Now he has fully guaranteed $31.8 million. But Cam, do we see the trajectory of players going to the NFL early? Will that change due to the draft stock of them?
So this is a good take because I don't think Quinn Ewers could stay.
No, I think he had one more year. He could have did it. But you saying with Arch?
I don't think he
could.
But
should he have hit the portal? He could have hit the portal.
That's still cool too, but I don't think it was in his best interest to stay at Texas. I don't think he could stay at Texas. I think his time was that hourglass had no sand at the top.
He should have hit that portal.
Okay, cool. He should have pulled a Carson back. That's subjective. Now, if he would have won in the first 2 to 3 rounds,
everybody would have said,
yeah. Exactly. You made the right decision. But hear me out. The NIL money will never compare to what the NFL money is. Mm-hmm. And that $8 million is only a projection. There's no contracts that we can show to date that says that these people who are projected to have $10 million NIL evaluation, it's just an evaluation.
Yeah.
So let's not get so caught up into.
They are making this.
No, they're not.
No.
So I've said it time and time again. The NIL was just a tool for athletes in college to have a comfortable college experience. This is not forever money. Some will say like, yo, you talking about $100,000 or $10 million? Like, bro, there's nobody that's making that type of money. No. And you got to pay taxes on those type of things. We are so miseducated about what the NIL money is guaranteed and what's not. Are they getting to that money? Absolutely. But it's not what you would expect them to. Yeah. It's still for you to have a comfortable experience while in college. It's better than what we had. Yeah. Huh? Better than what somebody would say, well, Cam, didn't you? Man, shut up. That was just speculations. Speculative.
But I have to ask this, though. Being a late round draft pick, you're not making the money that everybody said. Because when you say NFL, I'm in the NFL, people automatically think, oh, you're a multimillionaire. You got money to do X, Y, Z. And so that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to be a late round draft pick, but I'm the man of my college and I'm making, maybe I'm bringing home $1 million.
Look, bro.
What like I would stay at least one more year. Because either way, the money, like you can hurt your draft status or you can help it.
It's tricky, bro.
But it's like I got one in a hole, and, you know what I'm saying?
Hindsight's 20/20, Peg, and that's what people need to understand. Like if you ask Quinn Ewers, hey, look in this crystal ball, and you say that you're going to be drafted in the late rounds, would you still go to the NFL?
We thought Shedeur was going to be top 5.
Hello.
Yeah.
So those are the things that you can't really expect.
You got to take the chance.
You got to take a chance, and I'll tell you this. There's more money in your second contract. No matter if you was picked in the first top 10 picks.
Ooh, that's if you make it. But it's still chances. Life is a chance.
Life is a chance. I'm a black man in America. I take a risk every single day I wake up.
Too much.
You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. But in all seriousness, anybody would tell you that the real generational money comes in your second NFL contract. Make it to your second. Earn the right to make it to your second contract. Yeah. And that's not going to be given to you. Yeah. You have to be able to show and prove that, yo, I'm a perennial Pro Bowler. I'm a perennial All-Pro. Hey, I'm the franchise player, no matter if it's a D tackle, kicker, long snapper, receiver, quarterback, defensive, like it don't matter. Earn the right to make it to your next contract, and that's where you can have the real comfort. There's a lot of people in this draft that's going to be getting hit from so many different angles of guys that's like, yo, bro, man, I need it, dog, man. Travis, Ashton Genty, all these different players, and it's now like, hold on, I'm still trying to figure things out for myself. Yeah. And that's the cause for concern, that you're thinking that like, hey, if I'm an NFL player, I got to have a barricade around me that protects me and protects the main thing. I still have to perform. I ain't made it yet. I made it, but I ain't made it yet.
Yeah.
And the players who understand that realize they go on to have a successful career.
So you have to answer this, though. So you don't see it changing the trajectory of players coming out early, just with this NIL?
I think the trajectory for quarterback participation has changed due to Shedeur Sanders. I think more quarterbacks will see what happened with Shedeur and more receptive to performing at the combine, performing at pro days, but really putting their skill set on display that are really in question. Now, there may be can't-miss players, and there's very few can't-miss players in a draft. You may have
one, maybe two.
Maybe two. But other players, they're now going to start putting their talent on display any chance that they get. I'm going to take you back real quick, Peg, for even me and the questions and the concerns that I had when I was coming out. The knock on Cam only played one season.
That's true.
So I put on my own pro day or showcase, so to speak, for my skill. And it garnered the attention from all the NFL pundits. It was like, yo, I'm not just an athlete. I'm a quarterback that is an athlete. So any opportunity that you do get, no matter the position, you have to showcase that. You can't leave it up to chance. Because when you do that, then you roll in the dice and it can fall on any number that it possibly can. So I think Shedeur's situation will now be a testament to players wanting to say, you know what, look, I'm gonna remove all doubt. This who y'all getting. Right. You're gonna have way more top caliber guys performing when I ain't gonna leave nothing up to chance.
I'm gonna shine more light on my
Exactly.
anything.
Here we go. Third down, fan question of the week. Let's see what we got, Peg.
All right, we got the Keep Pounding podcast, and they tweeted, "What are realistic expectations for Bryce Young, T-Mac, and the Carolina Panthers this season?" I know they just picked up the wide receiver from Arizona. So what's their expectation realistically?
First off, in any type of franchise or organization, you want to win your division. The division favorites right now is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC South, right?
Okay.
Or you may say the Atlanta Falcons. You're not expecting a big year from the Carolina Panthers or even, the New Orleans Saints because there are so many question marks still. When I look at, the Carolina Panthers draft, I'm extremely pleased because now you've attacked a need at the receiver position.
Yeah.
Now, my question with that specific pick is, are you going to take your job serious? There's been, reports that says that you don't watch film. That's not going to be the case now because you have to watch film. Your career is dependent on that. You have to become the best version of yourself, sharpening your skill set. His catch radius is probably bigger than any other receiver in his draft. He's a big body guy that can move as well, and that's what Bryce will need. When you talk about guys that is already on the staff, on the team, when you talk about the skill set that's already on the roster right now, I think the best thing for the young receiver that they just picked up is Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
Having a good vet. There's going to be so many guys, and nobody's talking about this, but there's going to be so many guys that are blossoming or dying because of their veteran leadership. From quarterbacks to receivers to D tackles to linebackers, the list goes on. We had an example in Nolan Smith who came a couple weeks back that spoke about his OGs, right? The big dogs that when you go into a locker room, they're going to teach you how to be a pro. Yeah. I had that for me. When I walked into the Panthers organization, right, I had Steve Smith. I had Jordan Gross. I had Ryan Khalil. I had Thomas Davis. I had John Beeson. I had these guys to show me the way, indirectly and directly. How do they walk into the meeting room? How do they prepare? When do they leave? When do they show up? How do they work out? How do they treat their body? What do they eat? All these different things is what you take into account for as the young player.
Yeah.
Right? Take note. And if you have good veteran leadership, that can be the difference in that young player blossoming rather than dying. Next clip.
All right, so what's going viral right now, this is a big question. So Sensui Zoro, 100 cams versus 1 gorilla, 100 Peggy's versus 1 gorilla. What's the strategy? What's the game plan? So let's tap in on this video.
Stop me right there, Peg. See, I'm going to tell you right there, I have no doubt in my mind that 100 cans versus 1 gorilla, we going to prevail.
Y'all are?
Now, 100 Peggy's.
We definitely going to prevail.
I don't know what
we going to A-Town stump on that.
There's going to be a lot of knee braces and icy hot just oozing out of them Peggy's.
We got to squirt the icy hot in that eye.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm going to tell you, in any type of barbaric fight, somebody gonna have to be on that front line.
Somebody gonna have to take the loss.
It's like,
somebody gotta live this
when that gorilla turn around, somebody gotta jump on the back and eye gouge and you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get a little eye gouge.
Bro,
a little bite of the ear, Mike.
Somebody gotta be on that front line. Just think about it.
Yeah.
If in war, when you hear your rank and when you hear your positioning, they go down their list and they start saying, like, all right, here we go. Peggy, you on the front line. What?
It ain't much love. We already on 1 to 1, baby.
They gonna say, Cam, get on that horse. Huh? Cause you the last line of defense. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Cause like, I love my situation if it's 100 me's.
Versus a gorilla.
What? Help the bear, huh? help the gorilla. Because 100 me's.
Man, you gonna get busted out by a chimpanzee.
No, ain't gonna be no chimpanzee. Peggy, we gonna go to war.
What's your strategy, bro? I'm gonna attack all at the same time, 100 me's. Bracing all. Circle them.
Gotta circle them.
Gotta circle them.
It's gonna be the circle of life. Shout out to Lions game.
Facts. Or the circle of death if your circle ain't tight.
We gotta have a plan of distraction. All right. And hit it. Get him distracted. As soon as the focus becomes, then that's when somebody behind him gotta
get him.
Gotta get him.
You gotta jump on the back.
And hold on tight.
You hold on for dear life.
Hold on tight. Because if you could get to that Adam's apple and stop the circulation of breathing,
you might have something.
That's when you start hitting them ribs.
You gotta go Tarzan on them.
And then you gotta step on toes. You gotta just
get a little eye gouge.
Like eye gouge, twisting the wrist. Like, man, listen. There ain't no rules to fight.
It ain't.
Not a barbaric fight. Now, the question is, do we get utensils?
I think it's bare hands.
Bare knuckles?
Bare knuckles. But I gotta use these teeth for something, Daddy. These teeth gotta go for something.
Hold on, Peggy. Where you biting at?
Huh? Bro, pause for the cause, but whatever's in sight, I gotta bite.
Nah.
Not like the hole, not what's the hole.
Peggy got slung down. Now he looking up and he gonna bite something. Watch out, Peggy. Look at Peggy. Nah, you said it.
Nah.
Man, look,
Man, what a flag got one of your knees?
Nah, I got the flags, Peggy. You said that you're gonna be biting. I ain't biting. I'm straight fighting.
What straight?
Cause we punching, we kicking, we clawing, we gouging, wet willieing, you know what I'm saying?
The people's elbow.
And then I'm holding everybody. Hey, bro, Cam, what y'all doing, man?
You gotta get a good trip. Somebody gotta sacrifice.
Man, I'm kicking. See, you gotta hit them pressure points.
Exactly.
With a specimen, you gotta hit them pressure points. Yeah. You gotta hit them knees, them shins, them elbows, them ribs. You know what I'm saying?
But he gonna get somebody in his grasp.
That's why the front line is so essential.
That is. You gotta sacrifice for me, brother. I appreciate you.
No, Peggy, it's 100 cams. That ain't sacrificing for you. That ain't how it works, Peggy. I told you I'm on a horse. I'm over here.
Man, please, dude. You ain't quarterback. You on a quarterback run on this one.
All right, he down. Like that. See you? Yeah, it's gonna be.
The squeaky knee.
And the squeaky
But
knee.
that's how you get him. He start looking for the squeak.
Nah, bro.
Get him with the sneak.
Nah.
That's how you do it.
We attacking all at once. See, we got to put it in quadrants. 100 me's. See, my first strategy would be we going to section off 25 cams over here, 25 cams right there, 25 cams right there, 25 cams. All right, we going to red, white, blue, and black. Red, y'all up first. Black, that's the last. Y'all come and finish it out.
Yeah.
So when I say, hey, red, they going in there with bad intentions. Now, the unfortunate case is this. A lot of y'all reds ain't gonna really be a part of the celebration, but you died an honorable death.
Yeah.
Now them blues and them whites, y'all potentially may be a part of the celebration. Now there's a strong chance that all our blacks, they gonna be there. We gonna be turning up. Man, we whooped that gorilla behind, boy. Shout out to my dogs that are no longer with us. No. But at the same time, Peggy, a bunch of cams, we ain't fighting by,
Y'all gonna keep y'all Mashika hats on?
Man, that's gonna give us the power.
The power.
That's gonna give us the power. The Mashika ain't gonna move.
That's what I'm saying. See, I'm gonna keep mine. I'm gonna do 25 in the front, just gonna rush them. They gonna have. That's who I'm pouring the cup out for. And the 75 behind them, you just jumping on backs, tripping them. I mean, you gotta just get a little.
I would just say it like this, Peggy. I don't see a whole bunch of 100 Peggy's versus one Cam.
But see, we trying to keep it a clean show. But bullshit, cause you telling me.
Who?
Man, bro, we once we attack them knees, bro. Trip him down. And jump on that clown.
You talking about tripping.
But whatever.
I'm all.
Grab a dread and make sure you got a bald head by the time you finish with him.
I'm ear twisting. I'm grabbing the fingers and splitting them away.
I'm knocking them machine down. I can't see.
Man, I got kids. So my kids have already made me prepare for this. My kids be wrestling and tussling with me, and I know what get me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I done said, like, one of them done choked me, and I'm like, whoa. So that's what I do with the gorilla. I had about 3 of them assigned just to, Then once I get the gorilla hand, and he, you know, that fist tight, you separate that fist and you start
if you get
splitting,
that thumb away.
You split that finger like an old chicken.
On a good Sunday.
You know, that chicken wing right there with the barbecue sauce that you about to dip in ranch, like you just split them, you good. Cause now when you hear, that's all you
hear.
We got him, y'all. Yeah. Blue going to get him. You start stepping on them toes and stomping on them. Man, listen, if we do lose,
we gonna die out of a day.
That gorilla gonna leave limping with a broke arm. I bet the damage is done more with the cams versus the pegs.
Man, please, that gorilla, if he leave from us, he ain't even gonna be able to hear. And he gonna be in pieces, because we gonna be biting, scratching. I'm going straight Tyson on him, bro. Go for the ears.
Bite his nuts. That's the Peggy.
Please.
Bite his ass cheeks. That tastes better. Keep biting. You gonna designate, hey, listen, bro, I need y'all gotta bite.
We're biting but committed. The biting bandits. Unite!
Man, please. Here we go. 4th down. New Azar. Peggy. What we got?
But man, we got a special guest today. They say his shots are lethal. He's a hell of a coach, all right? He can teach you to get that wet, that jump shot. You feel me? From all places, all ranges. He's traveled across the world, putting the ball in the basket. None other than Mr. Lethal Shooter himself, man. Show him some love.
Man.
Thanks for joining 4th and 1, my brother.
Man, thank you for having me, y'all, man. This is an honor, man. I watch what you guys are doing, and to be on this show, man, it's definitely one of the moments that it's like, man, I feel like I'm starting to make it now.
Man, stop that. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
We're 4 million followers.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen.
I'm serious.
And let's jump straight into it, man. You know, we've seen some of the first round already get, some of the teams already get eliminated in the first round. What have we learned so far in the NBA playoffs that is surprising to you, or, you know, some of the things that we already knew going into it?
Man, the one thing we learned this year, you know, I know you guys appreciate it as well. They letting the guys play basketball. They playing tough. They out there elbowing each other in the face. They out there diving on the ground. They out there putting it all on the line. And respect to the NBA, man, because you remember the last few years, the referees wasn't allowing them to play. They was calling ticky-tack fouls. And just like the game last night, the Warriors and Rockets game, they was out there ready to kill each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you would know about that as well, Cam. You know, playing in the playoffs in the NFL, everything turns up. It's not the same anymore. It's not the same emotions. It's not the same feeling if it's a 3rd and 10 and you don't get the first down. It's just like that with the NBA. You know, you get a wide open shot in the playoffs and you miss, the pressure builds up. So to see how the players are taking it to the next level right now, man, it's remarkable, man. I'm loving every second of this.
So to that point of they're allowing the players to play, so to speak, do you think that was an emphasis going into the playoffs? Because even though that's a good thing, Peg, hear me out, the Pistons and Knicks, that last second three-pointer, which was an obvious foul, them coming out with a public apology does what for who?
I think, you know what I'm saying? Make a lot of people mad.
It is what it is. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on just that.
No, I got to agree with you. You know what I mean? The one thing we all got to learn and know, which we know, you played pro, I played pro, he played pro as well. It's like the game can't be settled at the end by the ref, if that makes sense. And it was a great game. It was a great, tough game. But let's put reality. Like, the Pistons shouldn't have let the Knicks win the game. It shouldn't have came down to that, if that makes sense. So as a referee, we can't put the referee in a way where it's like he or she has to determine the game, if that makes sense to a lot of followers out there. Do I agree that he might have been fouled? Absolutely. But the basketball that we grew up on, all 3 of us, not saying this is the case, But in the 90s, they not giving nobody no foul for game winners and situations like that. You got to make the shot. Yeah. And, you know, and Tim's my guy. He's family. But he did move over a little bit, if that makes sense. He could have went straight up and straight down. I feel like the referees didn't want to bail him out right there. But I tell you this, the way the Pistons are playing right now, to me, you know, and I'm a Knicks fan as well. Shout out to Leon Rose. Shout out to Wayne Wesley. But if the Knicks was to just, if the Pistons was to just calm down sometimes, I feel like they could win this series.
But I wanted to say, though, too, because that was a good point, just about how physical the game is, especially in playoffs right now. Can you see, like you brought up the 90s, can you see the game or the NBA going back to being more physical? Obviously, we got more, and we'll touch on that part, too. We have more shooting, three-point shooting instead of going to the basket hard. But do you see the game being more physical, obviously, to get more viewers and more attention to it?
I agree with you 100%, man. And that's the basketball that we all grew up. You know, I don't know when you guys were born, but when y'all went to the park, Cam, a dude was trying to take your head off in a game of 33.
Blood, no foul.
No foul.
No blood, no foul.
Right.
And you better call your foul as you're in the act of shooting. You don't get no respect of an and one. An and one ain't no foul. It's subjective to the court.
No.
It's subjective to the court.
Exactly. And the thing is, all due respect to the young kids right now that grew up on TikTok and grew up on Instagram, they not used to going to the park. They not used to going to the park getting smacked or getting elbowed in the face and stuff like. Now, are we saying we're endorsing fighting? No. But what we're endorsing is competitive nature and hard-nosed basketball. Yeah. And yes, I agree with you. I feel like the NBA is making that a statement. If you're going to be out here crying, we don't care. And the one thing I want y'all to notice as well, team, when the guys are crying now, the refs ain't paying them no attention like back in the day. Yeah. If you want to cry, we're going to let the game keep going on, and your team going to go down while you down here whining whining, and we're going to let the other team go down here on offense. So these playoffs, we're noticing no whining, go out there and play hard. And how y'all feel about the defense? They hand checking. They out there, you know, pushing people up. You saw what Anthony Edwards did to LeBron the other day. He damn near tackled him in the end zone. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Now, once again, we're not promoting fighting. We're not promoting harming players. All we want as fans is competition without guys crying. And I feel like the playoffs right now, shout out to the NBA for giving us hard-nosed basketball again. This is the basketball that we grew up with. MJ, Clyde the Glide, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant, man.
Man, listen, you mentioned it, the physicality of LeBron with Anthony Edwards. To that point, what have we learned about LeBron James in this specific series?
We're learning, man. I mean, he's an older guy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm older as well. And the one thing we know, why are we putting so much load on him? Why does he have to be LeBron James when he was 25 years old? He has the pieces around him that I feel like they can take a little more off on him. I feel like we're trying to put too much on his shoulders. And I feel like as well, when Anthony Edwards does muscle him up in that way, respectful, like I said, this is love, Cam. We're not promoting violence out here. Sure. But who's the guy on the Lakers that's going to check Anthony Edwards? Who's the guy on the Lakers that's going to go to Anthony Edwards and be like, man, take your hands off my guy, man, or we're going to have a goddamn problem. Yeah. And I feel like what Minnesota has realized is that they can bump the Lakers around. So in the fourth quarter, they might be a little fatigued, especially the King. You know what I mean?
Right. So one of those things, as you're saying about Anthony Edwards, right? Because I've been following him. He's a hometown favorite. Shout out to Atlanta. Atlanta, the T is silent. Is this when you watch his YouTube, when you watched his videos, the one thing that he mentioned about his team was that they were too soft, right?
Yeah.
And when you see the likes of a Draymond Green, the old Dennis Rodman, these guys were tempo setters, right? Do we even have a tempo setter in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
That can coincide with a LeBron to set the tone and keep the tone set for what it is. There has been an obvious physicality that teams has come on in Los Angeles to say, hey, we playing the Lakers, we just gonna bully him around, right? Make no mistake about it. And with that type of methodology and that type of psychology to it, we gonna pick on the bullies. Anthony Edwards have always stated that, I felt that there's times where we were soft, and that's including me. Yeah. And when you're playing playoff basketball and playoffs hockey, playoff baseball, playoff football, the element of physicality rises.
The stakes are higher.
You can't call that foul no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a dirty play no more. This is just playoff basketball. So I think that the Minnesota Timberwolves has done a great job with implementing that type of physicality. As one of our coaches would always say, let's take them to a place that they're not comfortable in, right? I think the Lakers have shown that they're not comfortable when somebody punches back, right? And it's not. This has nothing to do with insinuating violence or insinuating being a dirty player. It's all about the tempo of the game. This is the type of game. We always say it on the part, man, this is game 7, bro.
Yeah.
This game 7.
Let's do it.
I want hairlines on baseline. That type of energy, right? Me diving for a basketball is not a cheap play. It just makes the level of intensity higher and greater,
Correct.
right? So I do agree with you, Lethal, in regards to somebody has to take the workload off of LeBron James. He is not this 21-year-old phenom that can bolster the load of bringing the ball, not only being the number one, ball handler, the scorer, and guarding the best player. He's not that player no more, right? I'm going to ask this very contentious question. In your opinion, by the time this episode comes out, the verdict would already be set. Do you see the Lakers moving on from LeBron James if they lose this particular series?
I mean, it's the NBA, the NFL, it's a business. You know what I mean? Why I would keep LeBron, if that makes sense, because at 41, 42, 43, I hate to even say this, if LeBron is the third option, who's better than him on the other team? That's their two option, if that makes sense, or maybe the number one option on the other team. So me personally, if I'm a GM, I'm sticking with LeBron. You know what I mean? But me personally, absolutely, we have to make some changes. And we got to start with getting 2 bigs. One of the bigs, I can care less with him about scoring. His only job is to set screens, fuck people up, set the tone, grab rebounds, protect LeBron James. The other big, we need him to finish around the rim. Who in the Lakers right now is a big that when Luka's tired and LeBron's tired, they could just throw it in, if that makes sense. Like who in the Lakers right now, if LeBron need to catch one, Luka need to catch one, they can give that person the ball and just go to work. It's Austin Reeves, but sometimes he's even tired. So that's why we got to give it to somebody in the post so they can take the load off. I mean, we're depending on 3 guys right now to score at least 30 points each, 20, 25 points each. And that's a lot. And with me, as a GM, I would never let LeBron go. I would retire LeBron as a Laker.
So even with that, right? Does LeBron still have the cash out? Does he still have the magnitude to be the bait to bring in another free agent? Like, hey, I want to play with LeBron. Is it still that type of energy around the NBA?
Nah, absolutely. That's like saying when MJ was playing for the Wizards, if he was to call you, would you say no? They said MJ was calling people. They was like, man, absolutely, if that makes sense.
It's a chance of a lifetime.
When the greats call you, you always gonna come to the great, if that makes sense. So I feel like where he's at right now, and I hate to say this, but it seems like the older he's you guys know he's like fine wine. He's just getting better and better.
That's true.
It's just we got to take the load off him, and we can do that with another dominant big. To me personally, I feel like that if they had a dominant big, you know what I mean? I really, truly believe that they can make it to the finals. That's just me, because I feel like the way that Austin Reeves has been playing, respect to him, bro. Like, he been looking crazy out there. Like, his shifting in the game, the way he's getting to the rim, the way he's hitting the big shots for the Lakers. And at first, I wasn't a big fan of them trying to depend on Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves as a big 3. And I feel like Austin Reeves is pulling his load.
So, obviously, we solidified the legacy in the era of LeBron with the Lakers. But let's talk about the Bucks and Giannis, all right? So Dame Lillard just went out. He might not be back next season with the Achilles. Do you feel like Giannis will be back next season? And what do you think? Is the era over with him in Milwaukee?
Man, this is a tough series to watch because Giannis is my guy, Bobby's my guy, Dame is my guy. But if I'm the GM there, and the good thing is I'm not a GM, but if I was a GM, I probably would blow that team up. I think respectfully, they got to start from scratch because Giannis, man, he out there giving 300%, bro. And I feel like the pieces that they have around him is not the pieces that's needed to win a championship. And Giannis is not a player that deserves to be going through what he's going through because he's giving 300%. So he's a player, if he says, look, I need Cam from the Panthers. I don't care what it costs. I don't care if we got to give him a penthouse. I don't care if we about to build a resort in Milwaukee. We giving him 60%, 70%. We need you here for Giannis. And I feel like, respectfully, from an outsider looking in, some of that isn't being done. And sad to say, I love Giannis. I love the Bucks. Doc's my guy. But I don't see Giannis staying there.
Is this a Giannis issue or is this a Doc Rivers issue?
See, that's a good question because a lot of people, which you know, Cam, they'll say, oh, it's the coach's fault. But as professionals, it's the players' fault as well. As players, you have to come together and be a unit. And sometimes when I'm watching the Bucks, it's a lot of one-on-one play going on. It's a lot of confusion going on. Respect to what's his name, Porter Jr. the other day. Respectful to him, like he played a great game, but it was a lot of one-on-one. It's hard to go one-on-one in the playoffs. They need to move the ball. If you see when the Bucks won the championship. Respect to my guys, Grayson Allen, Bobby Portis at the time when I was training them, the ball was moving. The ball's not moving with the Bucks right now. And of course, Dame got hurt, but the Bucks don't have players where their shooting percentages are just through the roof and they're playing a certain way to take the load off Giannis. How many plays, Cam, can Giannis go 4-on-1?
Like real talk. I mean, it's as evident
like, damn.
when you watch this. It's like you have a guy who's been very bullish in his style of play. We know one thing about Giannis. He's going to get to that cup, right? Hell or high water. Now, when you've seen the Giannis, the productive Giannis, he's had shooters around him. He's had guys.
Yes.
The best Milwaukee Bucks team, they won with defense, right?
Yes.
And I don't care what the commodity in sport is. You still need to find guys that can score in the paint. In retrospect, in football, we have to have teams that are successful deep in the playoffs. You can look at the Kansas City Chiefs. You can look at, the New England Patriots in their dynasty era. They ran the football. That is the same similarities when you look at basketball. Guys have to be able to get to the cup or get to the foul line to have that common denominator, and when you stop that off and when shots aren't falling, then it's going to make it extremely hard, and you're not playing defense, that's going to make it extremely hard for any team to be successful for a long playoff push.
So and let's not disregard the Pacers. They're a great the Pacers are star-studded. They just don't get no credit because it's Indiana. That's like a good team being in Nebraska, if that makes sense. But let's not get it mistaken. The Pacers are great. But they shouldn't be doing this what they're doing to the Bucks. This is unacceptable with Giannis as the star player for the Bucks. And remember, me personally, internet trolls, they'll say, oh, this is Doc Rivers' fault. It is never the coach's fault to me. I always feel like the players need to step up in the big moment. The coach should coach and practice. In the game, he's supposed to honestly just be sitting down. Those are the best coaches to me.
Yeah.
Man, if I would have to title this playoff, right, basketball-wise, I would like to title this the shift of legacy franchises outside of the Boston Celtics. Right?
Boston.
That's good.
We've seen the Miami Heat just get swept, and that's a team that we would not have even expected. I think they had, the largest loss deficit in playoff history.
Yeah.
One of the top. And it's like, what are we seeing? We want to see Golden State win. They've thrusted themselves into a legacy franchise or a legacy dynasty, but at the same time, it's a head-on collision with OKC, which has not been the team that we expect to see in playoffs.
That's true.
With SGA being the favorite for MVP. But even with the Lakers,
and the Timberwolves,
if Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Lakers, they've taken down Goliath.
Yeah.
Right? And you look across the whole playoffs, it's like the teams that we are expecting
them story franchises
to be the mecca of franchises left and right, there's been a shift of talent, right? And now you have to respect it. We want to see the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, in a deep playoff push, but the Pistons will have something to say about that. And no matter how you look at it, it's time for change, right? And change is coming. Now, to that point, and I want to kind of stay on topic, but off topic, I've always said this, and I'm curious to hear your kind of thought process of just the state of basketball as a whole and how you see the talent and the focus of the talent, right? We spoke about how when we grew up, and I remember me not even being a basketball player, me being a professional competitor, no matter what the sport was, I remember vividly going from park to park saying, hey, bro, I got 5, you got 5, and let's line it up, right? What do you see when you train the youth now? What has been this era's insufficiencies?
Yeah, I've been blessed a lot the last 5 years to be the co-director of Nike Academy, and I'm a scout for EYBL. And the biggest problem that we had about 3 years ago, a lot of these handlers and a lot of these agencies wouldn't allow the kids just to go play at the park, just to be kids. And the kids were just playing for Instagram highlights. Kids didn't know how to cut. Kids didn't know how to play true basketball. And the one thing that Nike and Jordan Brand said, we got to get back to the roots. We got to get back to kids playing outside. We got to get back to kids playing the right way. So we made an initiative that all of our camps, some of the camps, the kids might not touch a basketball, bro, until the second or third day, if that makes sense, okay? Yeah. We might make y'all play 2-on-2, Cam. We might make y'all play 3-on-3. Fuck 5-on-5. Can you read a play on a 3-on-2? So I feel like the basketball is being saved because the one thing we were starting to realize, respectfully, not saying we're better, but it's like the European was coming to our sport and they was killing us in grassroots as well because they're playing the basketball the right way. And the one thing we started realizing as well, our players were playing for Instagram clicks. Yeah. And that's not how sports is done. If you're in a 2-on-1, instead of trying to be pretty and throw it behind the back, throw a bounce pass. If you're in a 3-on-2 and the shooter's open, throw him a good chest pass. Don't throw a look away. So I think the state of basketball right now is absolutely amazing. If you look at all the circuits, EYBL, all the different shoe circuits right now, these young kids are playing basketball the right way. And as you guys can see as well, the NBA game right now is being played the right way. Guys are cutting, guys are moving, guys are helping people off the ground. People are going back to the traditional basketball. Not saying we got to be stuck in the old ways. I don't want people to think, oh man, these guys they don't know how to evolutionize. They don't know how to think out the box. No, it's sports. Sports is a team game that needs to be played fundamental. That's like dropping back in the pocket and being sloppy. If you do that, you get your fucking head taken off. And it's just like in basketball. If you're in a fast break and you don't know the fundamentals of basketball, you're not going to be successful. So it's our job right now, what we're doing with Nike and Jordan Brand. We're getting the kids from 12 years old to 16 years old, and we're teaching them the fundamentals. So when they go to a Duke, when they go to a Kentucky, when they go to a Kansas, etc., they're playing basketball the right way to trickle into the NBA because it's our jobs as trainers, coaches, mentors to tell these kids, bro, go outside and play. But I got an NIL deal, and my agent said, man, take your ass to the hardwood, man. Go play, man, because that's how we all learned how to play. Yeah. Playing against dudes 40, 50 years old, you go to the basket, man, you look down, your tooth on the ground. Mm-hmm. Am I saying again, we're saying kids get hurt? No. But go outside and play basketball. Yeah. Learn how to play basketball. Don't just be in the gym with your trainer all the time and he being all nice and sweet to you. That one dude around your way that's real dirty and all he could do is play defense and he ripping your shirt or ripping your shorts off your pants, make him your best friend. The one dude that's the most elite scorer on the team and you're not good on defense, guard him the whole practice. Stop duck and bump because you can go viral on Instagram the negative way. And that's what we didn't have to we didn't have that on us growing up, as you know. Like, it hit social media, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. Yeah. But I feel like kids are afraid to make mistakes, and we want kids to know, to succeed in life, you have to fail.
So that's something big you said. You were saying, like, the foreigners came in and dominated, and Cam said this often. He was like, the game of basketball isn't an American sport anymore. Because when you start thinking and start lining up international players to our players here in the States, you know, the deficit is starting to separate. It's starting to be a deficit. And so what's your take on that? Like, with the foreign players taking over the NBA, do we have better foreign players than, like, domestic players? And I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. And I think that's why Steph Curry and Team USA played the way they played. They didn't play like that because, respectfully, like, you know, Team USA. No, it was like, we got something to prove because everybody's saying this about us. Everybody's saying that these guys are better than us. And this is why these guys were out there doing this on behalf of Kobe, because people like Kobe, people like MJ, people like Magic, respectfully to Europe, that's family as well. But they were showing them, man, this our sport. This our sport. We here to stay. We here to die for it. This is our game. And I have to agree with you, bro. There was a point where at the time I felt like Jokic, Luka, give me another name. Giannis. At the time, those three, come on, bro.
Yeah.
But now I feel like people are going so hard that it just looks balanced, if that makes that sense. But if you look at hard Jokic playing, bro, people can make fun of him riding horses or doing what he do. But, bro, that dude out there giving 200%, brother. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? He out there going hard. Giannis giving 200%. And I feel like right now, respectfully, I feel like we have that order back.
So you had just brought up his name. So Curry, he just scored his 37th 30-point game, which tied up with Kobe. And I know a lot of people, you got your LeBron, your Kobe, your Jordan. Should Steph be in that conversation? I want to hear from both of you all, obviously, because that's the barbershop talk. That's the Mount Rushmore. Right. And so now with Curry still balling, I know LeBron has a way of just igniting everybody, and everybody like, oh, that's LeBron. But Curry has his thing. He's still he's NBA champion, MVP, everything like that, and has the stats to back it up. Should Curry be in the Mount Rushmore with the likes of the LeBrons, the Kobes, and the Jordans?
I mean, me personally, why not? What more does he have to prove? I feel like if Steph Curry was to retire tomorrow at the guard position, how many people has done what he's done? He's put the Warriors franchise on his back. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? He's 36, 37 years old right now, still with the franchise on his back. If you watch the game right now, who the number one option? Steph Curry. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like, for people to not compare him to a Kobe Bryant, a Michael Jordan, a LeBron James, that's absurd. I think sometimes people might do that because he's a smaller guard. And if Steph Curry was 6'5", it'd be a little bit different. But to me, Steph Curry has evolutionized and changed the game of basketball with the art of shooting for the good. Because a lot of people would say the negative. See, the one thing people got to realize is there's certain people that can throw like Tom Brady, but to get to that level or get to a level of Cam Newton, they don't understand that you have to be precise every day as a kid. And that's what Steph Curry has done. Steph Curry has put the work in so much that he can shoot and look away. Now, if kids want to do that, that's your own fault. Some people say Steph Curry hurt the game, but to me, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I think a player like Steph Curry saved the game of basketball. He's like what Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan did for the NBA when they shifted the NBA stock. I think if it wasn't for Steph Curry, the stock wouldn't be where it is because he's must-see TV.
I think when you talk about a guy like Steph Curry, the thing that sticks out the most is you see Steph Curry in the common person.
Yeah.
And yes. If that doesn't give you any type of right for praise, it's like, what else will? We see a LeBron James. There's not a lot of 6'9", 270-pound individuals that's moving like that. Yeah. Even when you look at Jokic, when you look at Giannis, when you look like SGA and these guys, I mean, granted, he's 6'7", 6'8". We're looking at Steph Curry at 6'3", 6'4", with his shoes on. That has literally his skill with ball handling ability, his skill with just being a dead eye in any capacity of the court, and he's literally taking his skill from good to great, from the best to the better than the best. And that gives hope for somebody to say, don't look at the three and look away. Look at the time that he's devoted to this game. And his father was Dale Curry. Yeah. Now, we've seen multiple situations where father-son doesn't always pan out. But ever since inception that the world has known about Steph Curry, he's gotten better, he's gotten better, and he's gotten better. Now, his biggest insufficiency is defense. But for somehow, he's won championship after championship after championship without somebody exposing him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's doing something right.
So even with that type of realm, Steph Curry didn't hurt basketball. If anything, people are looking at the wrong thing, that Steph Curry has helped basketball, and he has put the focus on fundamentals. He has put the focus on just reps. He has put the focus on just countless hours that I devote to this specific sport, because that's what's going to be needed. I'll tell you a quick story about Steph Curry. Back in 2013 and 14, I was just coming off, just me creating my persona in Carolina. Yeah. Well, people don't know, Steph Curry came to the Panthers OTAs as well as the training camp just to see a different style of coaching. Hey, how do you prepare for football? What can I do to incorporate this in basketball? Now, I'm gonna take you back. In 2013, you would know Cam Newton more than you would know Steph Curry, right?
100%.
And now, this is when his Instagram was Wardell or whatever it was. It wasn't Steph Curry, but he still was devoted to the game, right? And to something that you said, Lethal, I remember when basketball would be this, like, yo, you got your set, I got my set, and we will go. It wasn't just to prove that you were good. It would be the scout skill. How many times have you went to a place and was like, damn, boy, buddy got a crossover on him. And then what you do the next day? You implement that same.
You work on it,
You do what he did.
All those.
That type of defense that he would say, like, yo, like, these skills that you see other people perfect, you implement those things.
Into your game.
That's what playground basketball
For sure.
or hardwood, matchups would do for you. And it's no different than even in football. It's like, yo, I would always see kids duck and smoke. It's like, bro, I don't care how many stars you got. I don't care how many offers you got. I don't care who your name is. Bro, if you are a 5-star and when it's time for you to do 5-star things, you don't do it, you're not considered a 5-star in my book.
I guess so.
Straight up. You see what I'm saying? So we need to take sport back to, hey, I'm going to prove it. Right? Even when I was looking at the piece with Anthony Edwards, there was this thing where, hey, yo, I got a kid. My partner, he cold, he tough. It was a proven thing. Take us back. We don't have anything like the Rucker Park where folks will put their talent on display in a very rugged, ratchet way where, hey, bro, what was it, the Drew League?
The Drew League.
Right? When we would see all-stars come out to the common person and just prove and to validate, like, no, bro, I'm that guy.
Yeah. And NBA players would go out to Rucker and still like prove it. Like Kobe you would get real players in the NBA going out to Rucker Park and putting it on against other NBA players or cats just from the hood. And it's like, if you the best, we gon' see. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to cut you off, Peg, but there's no prove it.
Yeah.
Like we don't have that in sport no more.
Them days, it's over. Because that's how I became great. So like in college, my senior year, I was number 3 in the nation in threes made. But it's because I played at the Rucker, I played at Berry Farms, I played at Dykeman when I went to New York as well, and I played in NYC Pro City. Pro City, you might go against an NBA player, then you go against that street dude that just finished smoking that'll probably knock out all your teeth. And then you go around the farms, you might play against Kevin Durant, and then you might play against a dude that might try to pull out a gun. But like I'm saying, what you're saying is that's what molded me, that when I went to college, when I went to Russia, when I went to China, bro, I wasn't afraid of nothing. And I feel like what you're saying, we got to get back to kids not being afraid and to athletes not being afraid to see. You heard what Kobe said. That's why he pulled up to the Drew that time. He said, man, they wanted me to come. They was talking shit. I'm going to pull up. Yeah. And when he pulled up, he shut it down. Yeah. And then look, everybody had nothing to say. You know what I mean? And that's how we grew up. I used to literally every weekend with white chocolate drive to the Rucker to play in the Rucker. Every weekend play at the Berry Farms. Every weekend drive up. Shout out to Coach Couch in New York City. I would drive up to New York every weekend to play in New York City, Nike Pro City, to play in those games because I wanted to play against the top DC players and I wanted to play against the top New York players every weekend in the summer. And that's how you become the best. You're going to lose some, but you're going to win some. But when you win and you lose, you learn from both.
Man, the thing about this is I would challenge every athlete, no matter the sport, to have the desire to get exposed, right?
Yes.
And it sounds bad, but now you know, like, even though these games do not count, it still takes a badge on your resume, right?
Yes.
You want to get exposed because now you need to know what you need to work on.
That's how you be to compete.
It's too much
Yes.
fear in being on Instagram, on TikTok. Hey, bro, this the dude that bothers. Like, no, bro.
I know.
For me, even when I just recently went on a show, and that was the thing. Is like, why are you doing the show? I want to be exposed. I want to know what I think I know, but I really don't know until put into a situation.
Correct.
And that's the athlete in me to challenge myself to always be better. If it's fatigue, if it's stamina, bro, I need to get more reps. I need to build my cardio. If it's shot and clutch time situations, I need to work on that. You know what I'm saying? 3, 2. Like all these different things.
Yeah.
Like you as an athlete want to get exposed as much as possible. So now when the lights are on, you know, okay, in order to be great at something, you need to know what you're most insufficient at. And you need to protect that, right? So, you know, one of the things before you get out of here, Lethal, is I want you to give us the starting 5 for the American team versus an international team. Because hear me out. A lot of these players who represented the NBA are all future Hall of Famers. We don't really have a corporate of guys that are coming up from America that can really get the torch passed to them. Not saying at all situations, and this is my personal opinion. You have, you know, the Jaws, you have the Ant-Mans, you have multiple players that's out there. But for you being your specialty in basketball, when you see the Luka is what, 26? No. Who's somebody who can go toe for toe with the international team from America?
Man, I gotta go. Are they retired too or no?
No. This is
active. So like I would go with the 1. I would go with Shea. At the 2, I would go with
Shea's Canadian.
No, he's saying a domestic player.
So
top
international,
5.
you got an international.
Okay. I would go with Steph at the 1. At the 2, I would go with Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
At the 3, I would go with LeBron. At the 4, I would go with Kevin Durant. And at the 5, I would go with Anthony Davis.
Now, with all those guys, 4 of those guys are over 30.
Right. But I got a question for you. Excluding those guys right now, and then we had to play against, you're right, Luka, Giannis, Shea. We had to play against those guys.
Wemby.
I apologize, Wemby. It's kind of hard to pick right now younger guys in the NBA that can compete with that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, to me. Because if you think about Wemby right now, not to go off topic, who in his age group from America is playing like him?
Yeah, that's real.
Which puts the onus back on fundamentals, which puts the onus back on just skill. Right, just puts the onus back on having that type of Lions mentality. That's like, bro,
whoever's standing in front of you
can get it.
Can't get that one.
Anybody can get it,
and will get it.
You dig? So I've caught a lot of ridicule with saying like, yo, NBA, MLB are not Americanized sports no more. It's being dominated by international players. Right? This is a challenge to Americans to say like, yo, dog, we got to do better. And not only do better, we have to prove it on a national stage because in a couple of years, Steph is going to be retired. In a couple of years,
he's going to be gone.
Gonna be retired. In a couple of years, LeBron's going to be retired. In a couple of years, Anthony Davis is going to be forced to get retired, right?
Yes.
Who are we going to lean on?
Yeah.
And we have a lot of skillful talent at the guard position. But when you're talking about the bigs, right, and even really what, you know, you said about what the Lakers need, they don't just need bigs, they need athletic bigs, right?
Yes,
that can run the court, not only play defense, but be a rebound hog to really assist and keep I'm about to say keep drives alive, but keep
tempo of,
opportunities alive.
Right.
To understand, like, yo, back in the day when you had Shaq was an athletic big, right? When you look at Dwight Howard was an athletic big, could run the court. When you look at the bigs that we've grown accustomed to, right? These guys can run the court and was reliable to that type of dynamic. Now, don't put them on the foul. Right. Don't put them on the foul line. No. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, they could protect the paint.
For sure.
With no questions asked. So
you might got a good point there, but I do think, like I said personally, I think things have evened out. But the way you just put it, with LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis out of the picture, the way you just put it, man, that's pretty deep for sure. Like, it's, the NBA is in great hands. Don't get it messed up. American basketball is in great hands. But when those four leave, man, it's gonna be a little. It's time for us to step up. You're right. It's time.
As you all talk about the star players globally or domestic, I have to ask, during this playoff series, who is your rose spark player? Like, who will give their team the biggest spark to go through this playoff series or throughout the playoffs as a whole?
Man, I can say I'm beyond proud of Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? I love the Timberwolves, but, let me take that back. I don't love the Timberwolves. I don't love any NBA team. I love individuals. Okay. And I feel like Anthony Edwards right now, remember, we can't compare him to this because he hasn't won it. But I'm saying he's doing NBA-ish with MJ. He's doing NBA-ish with Kobe. He's doing NBA-ish with like a Magic Johnson, how he's making his teammates believe, how he's setting the tone so high that you like, damn, I might be able to do this because he's pushing me this hard and he's showing me that he can do it as well. So I think the person that's standing out in the playoffs right now is Anthony Edwards, because if he brings down LeBron and Luka together, that's a major accomplishment for him. Now, the goal is the trophy. So if he wins and he loses the second series, this all means nothing. But for him to win this series, like you were saying, Cam, this would be a big shift in sports. It would be a big shift in Goliath franchises, because he's showing us right now that the bully has been picking on me, and I'm tired of the bully. Even during the season, they was playing bad, bro. The Timberwolves going through all type of locker room drama. And right now, these guys are out there giving 200%. So I want to send a huge shout out to Anthony Edwards. Continue to play hard, block out the negativity, block out the haters, and continue to move in your path.
So I'll say I will second this, but give you a different type of thought process. In 2015, we looked at this team as the bullies. When we went into Seattle and beat Seattle, I think it was early on. I think it was like week 5 or week 6. Yeah, we were undefeated at the time, and when we beat Seattle, it propelled our confidence in a way that it's like, hey, who on some of big old me?
We on to something. Yeah,
I believe that if the Minnesota Timberwolves can beat the LA Lakers, it will propel them to now believe that we can beat anybody.
Yeah.
And this is the things that superstars do. This is the fine print. This is something that is not always perpetrated or verbalized in media. It's superstars give everybody hope. Superstars give the fans hope. Superstars give the executives hope to say, hey, we got to build around this guy because we want 4 to 5 of these guys on the court at the same time, right? We're not going for anything else because this is our engine. This is our gas. This is our fuel that's going to get us to the top. His mentality, his skill set. And there's numerous times where even in this series, up until this point, we've looked and said, okay, the game is getting tight. Who are we going to pass the ball to? Man, welcomely. Man, hey, give me the ball, bro.
Yeah.
I'll shoot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not one of those things that's like, it's like we expect the ball to go in. That's what Steph Curry has done for the Golden State Warriors. That's what LeBron James has done for every single team that he's been on. When you think about Kobe, when you think about MJ, when you think about great players, even SGA has that, and there's still certain things that he has to kind of exceed and say like, yo, you know, what it is. But when you give people hope that no matter what we got you.
We good.
We good.
Yeah.
And until or when it happens, right, you take down Goliath, and now it's like, okay, we got Ant-Man, we straight. Yeah. Now it takes Ant-Man to raise not only his level of play, but the play around everybody else, and you've seen it firsthand.
But you said something right there, though, Cam. Like, even when you talked about the Timberwolves beating the Lakers and what that would do for their energy, right, and their motive and their mindset, do you, and I want to hear from both of you all, do you feel like the Timberwolves is the most dangerous team in the playoffs? And if not them, who do you have being the most dangerous team in the playoffs?
I mean,
that's a good question. I mean, me personally, I love Boston. You know, Jaylen Brown, that's my man. Jason Tatum, my man. But like, man, the Cavs look crazy right now, bro.
They smoking them, boy.
God damn. So it's like, I'm not trying to say Orlando is easy, but Orlando ain't making Boston look like they so dominant. I feel like the Cavs and OKC might be in the finals.
Man, listen, dog. This is what people don't understand in this type of phase of what the sport is in right now. When you start playing playoff basketball, playoff baseball, playoff hockey, it decimate the talent. Who plays the best with each other? You see what I'm saying? The individual play will get you to this point. The individual play is not going to take you past this point.
That's good, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter what you say about the Golden State Warriors, they're the best team, and they've always played the best together. Draymond Green knows his role. Bro, I'm going to guard the most dominant big, whoever we have, issues with. I'm going to set the tone, and I'm going to pass the ball, right? He started the game the other night with 2 threes. What was that?
Right.
You start letting him and the others, you start letting the others score? Yeah. It's like, whoa, what's going on? But teams who play the best with each other typically go the furthest. We've seen it with Boston. Jalen Green, Tatum, Jaylen Brown and Tatum, that tandem has always played the best together. Now, contrary to who's the best player on the team, we're not going to get sidetracked with that. Because now that's what the media wants to throw a little grenade in and say, okay, now we have a specific issue brewing, a civil war, so to speak, when they've always controlled that narrative. When you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers and you look at Spider, he's the star. But guys are doing their job, bro.
Yeah, they were working.
I mean, they're beating guys up mentally and physically, and they're hitting shots.
And this is the Cleveland Cavaliers we talking about.
Without LeBron James. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
So it's one of those things that GMs, executives, owners always have this thought process. When you look at the Mavericks back in the day when they had Jason Kidd and Dirk and Sean Marion with the ugly three. You see what I'm saying? Those guys played the best. Jason Terry, right?
Oh, yeah, Terry.
These guys just had
the headband Terry.
You just had the understanding of like, yo, I know my role, and I'm going to be the best at my role. And the team who does that will be the team that succeeds the most, right? If you do your job, if you're expected to hit that corner 3 down every single time, and you do it more times than not, you're doing your job, bro. If you can minimize the mistakes and minimize what the other team is trying to do by you doing your job the best, that's what it's really going to come down to.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And who has the mental fortitude and the mental stamina to do that more than the other team?
That's real.
I agree.
So, listen, dog, this is a fun question that I had. You've trained so many different people, from basketball players to even, TV personalities. Who is a person that you trained and you was like, oh, this person got game, he or she?
Right. That's crazy because, you know, last night I just trained Cedric the Entertainer.
What? Was that a serious training session?
Big time.
So we trained before, and then afterwards we had to do promo for the NBA. So we did train. He has a court at his house. But last week I knocked out Will Smith. The week after that I knocked out. I've been on a good little roll right now, man. I got Jamie Foxx in 3 days again. But I gotta say, the client to me, and I always say this, you know, I gotta pick 3 because if I pick 1, y'all be getting me in trouble. So I gotta say, shout out to Atlanta. You know, 2 Chainz, he got a nice jump shot. You know what I mean? 2 Chainz got a nice jump shot. Shout out to our man Michael B. Jordan. He got a nice jump shot. And shout out to Chris Brown. Chris Brown has a nice jump shot.
He be playing in the BET basketball, all the celebrity games.
Yeah. He has a really nice jump shot. Like he's good, man. Them 3 right there. Not saying excluding all the other guys that I've trained, but those 3 right there, like they don't be playing, bro. Like they really serious about it.
Bro, I gotta ask you this. Rapid fire though. All time,
Right.
Who's your 3? Give me your best 3 shooters all time.
Man, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Damn, 3?
3.
You terrible, dog.
3 for 3. 3 for 3.
Look. Watch this. Reggie Allen. You get it?
Wow. So we ain't got no Reggie
Reggie
Miller on
Allen
there?
or Ray Allen?
Do you get it? Instead of Reggie Miller?
Oh,
Yeah, he put Reggie
I
Allen. You trying to put them both in there. Look.
see.
Oh, my gosh. Man.
Man, Lethal Man,
man.
appreciate your time, dog.
Yeah.
Anytime, you always welcome over here, 4th and 1.
Man,
know
thank
what
you
I'm
guys.
saying?
Hey, we gotta do that. You saw I did the shooting video with Stephen A.
Yeah.
Me and you gotta do that shooting video because you're an athlete, bro. I'm gonna have you doing videos, you dunking that thing with 2 hands.
Man, listen, I just want the reps, bro. I ain't afraid.
All right, hey, hold up. You gonna be a Tom Cruise, but you can't give me a 2-hander?
Oh no, that's easy. That's a given. That's what's expected, though. You see what I'm saying? Like I say, I got the LaMarcus Aldridge, the Boogie Cousins.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the sort, the Dirk Nowitzki is.
Okay.
Like, I really like bigs who really are skillful and light on their toes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not the dude that's bringing the ball up court, trying to shake and just go guard and like, no, dog. It's finesse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I really appreciate Zach Randolph, Big Zach.
Oh,
like those guys.
man.
Like, that's how I'm
Footwork
my
king.
game.
You underneath the basket with it.
Yeah, bro. I'm a bully you. You know what I'm saying? Position.
Yeah.
I just want the easies, bro. You feel me?
Just
We
the
all
ease.
knew we had that guy on the court that was just like the you know, real slow. You know what I'm saying? Can guard anybody. You know
Put
what
him
I'm
over
saying?
there. Time
But
out.
at the same time, you know, I'm gonna put the body on you. You know what I'm saying? And then when you try to pull the chair off on it, I got too much control that it's just an
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Man, appreciate
we
you,
gotta
dog.
do that, bro, man. Man, thank you guys for having me, man. Like I said, y'all thought I was joking, but this definitely a dream come true, man. I respect what you two are doing, man. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro.
So you had it here, man. We had our dog Lethal Shooter here. Shout out to my dog Peggy. Shout out to everybody who makes this show a success each and every week. Make sure you follow 4th and 1, not only on Instagram, not only on TikTok, but also subscribe, dog, to our YouTube channel. And as I always say, one finger, yeah. Whoa. I said one finger, yeah. Can't forget the pinky. Stay with me. I say the thumb. All together, one love. You dig?